Coming up tonight on Colorado Stories from Studio 12.
Do your kids play Roblox? There are new ways the online gaming platform is trying to keep your kids safe. We'll tell you how in our one-on-one interview with Roblox's Vice President of Public Policy.
And Franny Matthews sits down with Isaac Slade, former lead singer of the Fray, to talk about the business of music, his solo career, and his nonprofit, Take Note Colorado.
Our next stop on our Civics Bee road trip takes us to Carbondale, where middle school students compete for top honors in civic engagement and government.
Then we hear from our gardening expert, Jungle Judy, on ways we can protect our gardens from summer heat, hail, and pests.
That's all coming up right now on Colorado Stories from Studio 12.
From the Five Points Media Center in the heart of Denver, Colorado, this is Studio 12.
Hi, I'm Bazi Kanani.
And I'm Ryan Harrer. Thank you for joining us for Colorado Stories from Studio 12. Parenting has never been simple, and raising kids in a digital world adds a whole new layer of questions.
From screen time to online chat to privacy, it can be tough to keep on top of all the apps, games, and technology that our kids are using every day.
One of the biggest gaming platforms is Roblox. It recently rolled out new safety tools, including facial age estimation and expanded parental controls to better protect its young users. But these new changes have raised questions for some parents.
On this week's The Family Beat, Erica McClarity sits down with Roblox's Vice President of Public Policy to get some answers to some of the biggest questions families are asking.
If you're a parent, I'm sure you've heard of Roblox. My kids play it. They love to explore all these different creative worlds and connect with their friends. I even have my own username that at any given time, I could just pop in and see what worlds they're in. Today, I'm sitting down with Roblox's Vice President of Public Policy to talk about the platform's latest safety features, what parents need to know about privacy and age verification, and how Roblox is working to protect kids as technology continues to change. Nikki, thank you for joining us, and I would love to just jump right in about these expanded parental controls. Tell us what's going on with that.
Well, great. And we'd love to hear that you're using Roblox, but I know a lot of parents have questions, so happy to have this time with you. We have announced 2 new types of accounts on Roblox that really are designed to grow with children, that are aligned with their ages. The first is Roblox Kids, and that's for ages 5 to 8. And I kind of think of this one as the bike with the training wheels. So they're getting some skills, but there's still a lot of protections there. And then we are also announcing Roblox Select, which is for the next age group up. It's for the 9 to 15-year-olds. This is when the training wheels come off, but we know that parents are still involved. There are still protections. They're still getting used to the road. And for example, with Roblox Kids, for those little ones, chat is off by default. That means when they log in, they would do an age check. And once we know that they're in that bucket, certain aspects are just, they won't be able to chat without, the default is off unless a parent wants them to be able to.
A lot of the moms, in my friendship group here are just so worried. I'm sure you hear this a lot about uploading a picture of their child. What would you say to that?
Let me start with how age check works on Roblox, because I think it's actually can be comforting to parents when they know more about it. So age check, which is actually a feature that we rolled out months ago, specifically for chat, is a simple tool, and it's basically a video selfie. So the way that it works is the tool goes on, a child will turn his or her head to the right and to the left, and it will determine within a high degree of accuracy what their age bucket is, which will then let us know, are they eligible to chat? And if they are, we want to make sure that they're only ever chatting with people in a similar age group. So it's not the case that people can hold up a photo from a magazine of somebody else, nor is it the case that parents have to give over a photo. It's a video selfie taken in the moment. The data is deleted, and it's really for the purposes of providing a safer environment.
I'm kind of surprised. I don't know, maybe I'm a cool mom. I don't know. But I get kind of surprised that a lot of people actually don't even know that Roblox is a lot of games within a game. They think it's one game. So how do you explain?
This is such a great point for parents in particular. We know that parents have dozens of apps that they're trying to track. And we're also really overwhelmed. I'm a mom, I have 2 kids. It's really overwhelming. And I work in technology. I think that parents need to understand that Roblox isn't one game, to your point. They should think of it as a platform. And instead of YouTube's a platform and you can watch lots of videos on YouTube, on Roblox, you can play lots of different games or have different experiences. Our job and what we think our responsibility is to ensure that the content that people are interacting with, particularly kids, is appropriate for their age, and that the tools that they're getting access to, like communication features, are also appropriate for their age as well.
What drove these new safety changes?
Roblox is a 20-year-old company. Some people don't realize it's been there that long, and the platform has grown so much over time. And we know that there are children as young as 5 using Roblox, and it's exciting. They're learning how to code on Roblox, or they're interacting with friends. And there are also adults who use Roblox. As we've grown, it's become clear that we want to provide a community where there are walled gardens for kids, where they can interact, but with people of a similar age, and that the experiences, the games they're playing, also feel like a good fit. If a parent isn't able to go in and change one setting, not because they don't care, but they're overwhelmed or they have a lot to manage, that there are certain defaults in place and certain protections that are baked right in. Similarly, if a parent says, you know what, there is a game that Roblox doesn't think is appropriate for my 14-year-old, but my 16-year-old's playing it and I want them to be able to play together, parents can make that decision easily by logging into the app. All they have to do is connect their account to their child's Roblox account, and then they have a lot of different parental controls that they can use to manage everything from screen time limits to spending controls. And now with these updates, parents have the ability to manage those protections, not just until kids are 13, which was the threshold previously, but now through ages 15.
So what metrics to make sure that these new safety features are actually working?
There are a few that come to mind. One is we want to make sure that the tools that we're using are accurate. So with that age check tool that you and I were talking about, that video selfie, we know that it's accurate within 1.4 years of a child's age. So if it looks at a child and the child is 7 years old, it might say the child is as old as 8, or it might say as young as 5, but it's generally very, very accurate. We also want to make sure that people are using the age check tool. So as I mentioned before, for people that don't age check at all, they will not be able to communicate on Roblox, and they will have access to a core set of games and experiences that are kind of appropriate for everybody. What we want are for as many people as possible to be age checking so that we can put them in the right buckets.
Do you recommend I do it? I mean, I'm in my 40s. Do I do the age check when I log in to play with my kids?
I think as a mom, it's great to do the age check. As much as I would love any tool to tell me that I look younger than I do, I think parents will be comforted by the fact that it is actually very accurate. And my kids did it and they were like, oh, it thinks I'm this. And I'm like, and you are. So I think it's comforting for parents. Also, if you are a parent and you do the age check, then your Roblox account is set up. Even if you don't play, it does give you that door into just being able to manage the account and interact with your kids if you want to.
Yeah, I'm curious, why was facial age estimation picked over less invasive methods?
Well, I should also note, if people want to, they can upload an ID, a government-issued ID, and so that is an option for people too. Sometimes what's hard about government-issued IDs is that kids just don't have them. Some kids might have a passport, many don't, and so we think that, we live in a world where we now use our faces to unlock our phones, right? Like we use faces as a secure method for authentication in many different areas, and the world is different than it was 20 years ago. We have better technologies, more robust technologies. And so we think a video selfie, especially when the data isn't saved, it's hard deleted, and it does a check. We think that that's a really non-invasive and easy way to get people part of the safety process.
When chatting, is there a way that parents can say, okay, yes, I want them to chat with their brother and sister and cousin, but I don't want them chatting with anybody else? Can they, like, person by person, say yes or no?
Access to direct chat is something that we are rolling out with this change so that parents can control who their kids are directly chatting with. So some of our new parental controls will extend all the way from, from when a child is small until the age of 15.
So I can do all across the board screen time limits on my kids' technology, but does Roblox have something just within the Roblox app that says you've been on here for too long, you're kicked out?
Yes, there is a control within Roblox itself. It's not new, it's something we've always offered, where parents can decide how much screen time is the right amount, and every family is different.
Any Roblox games you recommend playing with your family? Because I play with my kids.
It's funny, I have two boys, one is 14, one is 16, and I mention this only because I find it funny. You wouldn't typically think of 14 and 16-year-olds as like growing gardens, but my boys have discovered Grow a Garden. It's a great game that teaches kids how to care for plants and take care of their gardens. But there are so many different games on Roblox.
If a parent watching this interview only remembers one thing, what's the single most important step they should be taking to help keep their child safe on Roblox?
I would just let parents know if they have questions about safety on Roblox, they can always go to roblox.com/safety center, and that kind of kicks off it's a starting point for all of the questions they might have. But another thing that parents can do is actually talk to their kids and just sit down with them. You don't have to play to sit with your child for 5 or 10 minutes and say, show me how this works, or like, what do you like about it? Or is there anything that's difficult for you? You just get a sense for what their world is like online, and it opens up that conversation. And you don't need to have tech skills. That's just the kind of parenting that we do every day.
Another thing that I don't think a lot of parents know is that, these games that are inside of it, who creates those? Is anyone allowed to create a game? How is that process of I've created this game and I want it to be available to the world?
All of the developers that have games in those buckets go through a check on our side to make sure that the developers' accounts are secure, that we know who they are, that we have an understanding of the kind of content that's in those games. So Roblox itself, you can think of as an imagination, kind of a blank canvas for imagination. But in terms of what kids have access to in these protected environments, all of that content has to be vetted so that we know that it's going to be a good experience for them.
Thank you so much, Nikki.
Thanks for the time. Great to meet you. Thanks.
Thanks for listening and being a part of the conversation today. For this video and all other videos in the Family Beat, you can go to pbs12.org or our YouTube channel.
For Isaac Slade, the journey didn't end when he stepped away from the Fray. Today, he's writing new music, performing in intimate venues, and discovering that some of the most meaningful connections happen in smaller rooms.
Ibotta is partnering with Take Note Colorado for a special outdoor concert at its downtown Denver headquarters. The organization is working to make music education available to every young person in Colorado who wants the opportunity to learn.
Franny Matthews sat down with Isaac to talk about his evolution as an artist, why he's learned to trust his own creative voice, and how that journey led him to help advance Take Note Colorado's mission.
It's a conversation about creativity, purpose, and the power of music to change lives.
Well, Isaac Slade, thank you so much for sitting down with us today. We are at Ibotta, and you're going to do a concert here. And I think many of us in Colorado just adore your music, you, the whole enchilada. For
Dang,
the last,
all right.
Yeah.
All right. I like that intro. That's
well, I think it's true, you know, so I just want to know what everybody, I think, wants to know is what's Isaac Slade doing now?
Oh man, a lot of sack lunches, a lot of sweatpants, a lot of full sack lunches at the end of the day because my kids don't eat probably 70% of what I make them. I've been living up just outside of Seattle on a weird little hippie island that reminds me a lot of Boulder, actually, called Vashon. And yeah, just raising my babies. My partner and I are writing a bunch of music, trying some new music, and I have a partner in crime too in the studio that he and I have just been cranking away like a 9 to 5 banker's hours every week, just cranking on new music and covers and stuff.
So you have a studio at your house?
It's a little cabin I rent on the island, that we put all my gear in. So yeah, I've just been making music and living life deep into my middle age.
So I'm always fascinated by creative process, and there's a lot of work that goes into it, and it changes over time. So when you look at the decades that you've worked in the music industry, how have you looked at creativity differently?
Well, I still feel like it's the Marvel comic guy, like going in, finding this lightning ball, and then like shooting it out, and all the good stuff I've ever made sort of has the inception of that, like some kind of weird, sacred, divine, creative act. And then you turn it into a 3.5-minute verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, song, or a music video, or a website landing page, or whatever it is that we're creating. So I feel like that first part has always been the same. And if I ever make anything that's not very good, I sort of like look back and realize I never had that kind of first inception moment. I was just like, I'm gonna write something that's gonna make me popular. What people like to listen to, and those songs are never good, or they're fine, they're just not great. But I think maybe the part that's changed has been learning to trust myself more, trust my voice, trust my kind of inner voice, trust that if something resonates with me, hopefully it'll resonate with somebody else too.
I think it's Seinfeld. Seinfeld writes a joke a day, and he crosses it off on the calendar.
That's cool. I believe it is work, but it's like showing up in a field with a lightning rod every day. That's the real work. When you show up and start writing, the first draft's always bad, the second draft's usually a little less bad, and by that 5th, 6th, 7th, 20th draft, it's like the electricity is coming from somewhere. And I feel like some energy out in the universe is doing the real lifting, and we're all just like tuning in the FM and there's my song. Got it.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
So in all this, you've made a big pivot.
Yep.
And so, I look at this and I think of these amazing times that you have been, you get into small venues as an audience, you get into small venues and the impact that has. And I think particularly coming out of the industrial age in the United States, we think, okay, here's a great idea and we scale it. And so is scaling really, how do you feel about that when you mix it with creativity?
If we're the band and that's the stage, I used to think we had to be really different depending on what the crowd was. If it's a room of 30 people or 300 or 3,000 or 30,000, you have to sort of be different people. And I after whatever 1,000 shows I've played, I think it's the same person just slightly turned up in volume. And that actually is kind of a calming thing to me, because I can just kind of be myself a little louder or a little quieter or really quiet or really loud. So with that mentality, I just did this solo tour back in March and April, and it was just like turning myself way down. I wasn't running around and jumping on the edge of the stage and into the crowd. I was just kind of having like a lot of motion inward, and letting that kind of intimate exchange be the drama, let that be the action. And it was cool. It was a totally different thing for me, playing these big songs that we wrote for arenas, a lot slower and a lot more vibey and a lot like more man and piano and spotlight. But the songs were sort of written in that living room feel. And then we sped them way up and put drums on them and guitars. So in a way, it felt like I was visiting like my old high school. Like, oh, I remember you found me at, 76 BPMs. Like, this is cozy, and like visiting my grandma or something. And it was so wholesome and powerful for me.
Do you connect differently with the audiences when it's smaller?
Big time, yeah. I mean, it's like, being in this room, there's 14 people in here. If I started singing right now, like, it's awkward. It's weird, especially for like 20 seconds. Everybody's like, oh my God, he's singing. Don't look at me, don't look at me. And I'm like, don't look at him, don't look at him. But in that intimacy, once everybody kind of calms down, it's like this, it makes the room just kind of swirl in this strange sort of, we're all human, we're all freaked out, we're all stoked about something, and we're hoping it works.
Let's talk about Take Note. That has been a passion project for you. Tell us about what Take Note is.
Yeah, well, it started with the Senator Hickenlooper's governor, Rain, asking me to come to a dinner. And he had a really prominent Democrat and a really prominent Republican on either side of him, saying they wanted me to lead a project that would make Colorado the first state where all 1 million kids could learn to play music if they wanted to. And it was a massive project. They put 10 years on the clock. I was 10 years younger than I am now, or 9 years younger, it was 9 years ago. And so I jumped in and started it with him and a couple key foundations and a bunch of really smart board members, all Denver, local, Colorado, Boulder people, and some people on the Western Slope. And we just started chasing what access to instruments and instruction would look like in a state our size that has, condensed urban areas and sprawling rural, suburban, and then, broad rural. And it's been a challenge. There's a lot of places we go in with like a truck full of saxophones, and they're like, we don't know what to do with this. We don't have enough money for lunches on Fridays. We don't have money for schools on Fridays. We barely have a football team. We don't have enough teachers. So, it's been a crash course in sort of taking the temperature of the state across all sectors, education, mental health, social, cultural, sports. It's been crazy, but we're close. We're getting really, really close. And we have one more year left, about a year left, and we're about 90% there. So I think it's right on track to sail across the finish line.
Thank you for the work. It's awesome.
Yeah,
so
it's great.
We'll keep track on what you're doing with that. We thank you for that. We thank you for coming into Colorado and doing this concert.
Yeah, thanks for having me back.
So Brian, it is so great to be back. We were here, oh gosh, I think it was October of last year, and you had just moved into this space, and you were bringing people into the space. Big commitment. You're at 16th and Market. So tell us about bringing people back in the office, where you are now, and what it means to be downtown.
Yeah, we had our grand opening, as you say, and now we have 600 employees coming into the office. We're right in the heart of lower downtown at 16th and at Market, and we're starting to see how we're part of sort of the vibrant resurgence of downtown Denver. Extremely excited to be here and to have made a 10-year commitment to this place.
That's awesome. And I've worked downtown for a number of years, and there is a vibrancy that is awesome in Denver. All right, so let's talk a little bit about Isaac. How did you meet Isaac?
I've been a huge fan of Isaac's music for a long time, and he came to play at a benefit for my children's school, and I excitedly signed up to go watch him. And I was just blown away how he could perform all of the music that he wrote for the Fray by himself on music, on a piano. I'm the pianist, amateur pianist. Just watching somebody accompanying himself so incredibly skillfully was really inspiring, and I got a chance to say hello and get to know him. And his manager is a friend of mine, and so we had this idea that was inspired by the original music video for Where the Streets Have No Name by U2, which was filmed on top of a rooftop in Los Angeles. And I wanted some kind of a rooftop vibe inside of our office as almost like a pop-up concert. And I thought, wow, Isaac would be perfect because of his connection to our community. So while I was out in Seattle, which is where he lives, I arranged to meet with him and I pitched him on this idea, and it turned out he has some new music that he's popular, he's getting out there and popularizing, and it's a perfect opportunity for him to perform in public, so we're thrilled.
It's interesting. You've seen him make a pivot. What do you think about that? What do you see?
I think it takes a lot of courage to continue to put out new material when you have such a beloved canon of material. And some of his new songs are just terrific, and I'm so glad he's playing a mix of both of them. What he puts out online is so good that people have been clamoring for him to put out an album, and he's now going to do that, and the world's going to get to hear his music again.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I know your team members are going to be thrilled to have this concert today, and so, Ryan, I thank you for being a great community leader, and it's fun to see what's happening.
Thanks so much for having me, Fray.
Funding for the Business of Colorado on PBS 12 is provided in part by Collegiate Peaks Bank, Ibotta, and from the generous support of viewers like you. Thank you.
Take Note Colorado brings together schools, community organizations, musicians, and donors to help expand access to music education across the state.
To learn more about Take Note Colorado and its mission, visit takenotecolorado.org. Think you know your civics? Middle school students from across Colorado are putting their knowledge to the test.
From the Constitution to today's headlines, these students have been studying to think quickly and to show what they know about government, history, and the responsibilities of active citizenship.
The competition is tough, the questions are challenging, and a spot in the state championship is up for grabs.
Tonight, we're taking you inside Carbondale's Civics Bee for a front row seat to the action. Take a look.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Ryan Honey. I will be your MC this evening. So in a moment, we're going to bring out our finalists for the first ever Greater Roaring Fork Valley Civics Bee. Each of these students has identified an opportunity in their community to improve. So please welcome to the stage a whole bunch of kids who are smarter than me. Give it up for them as they come on out.
I for sure think it's an opportunity, whether they want to look at that as a career or also just be engaged down the road. Maybe it's, helping with voter registration or things like that. I think it just opens a door of opportunity, and also showing that there is, really fun activities such as this happening in their community that maybe they would not have known about before. There's competitions on the Front Range, there's competitions further on the Western Slope in Grand Junction, but for us to be centrally located right here really provides that opportunity for more students to participate and be engaged.
The Civics Bee is a powerful platform to amplify the voices of young people.
Getting young people engaged in civics and civics education early is wonderful because it gives them a taste of opportunity and community and engagement moving forward. I also think it gives opportunity for young people to see that they are change makers and that they can have a positive and important impact in their communities, their schools, where they live, and beyond. So to say, you're a young person, you can do something now. You don't have to wait till you're older. And so how can we foster that knowledge, that understanding, and then the opportunity to apply that knowledge in a relevant and meaningful way.
Being around middle school age, it's such a fundamental age group where you are like a sponge and you're learning and you're growing and maturing. So yes, definitely, I think for the professional development, it's going to be a win for everybody, even, for the community.
Okay, that concludes round one. Give it up for these kids.
Students spend many hours writing essentially for themselves or for their teacher. And this event gives them an opportunity to write for an audience that really is going to listen deeply and will create an opportunity for their voice to actually affect change.
The way I proposed this to students was we brainstormed a bunch of challenges and problems or opportunities in our town. That's what the essay to apply for the Civics Bee was. And it was awesome to see what kids came up with. There were things like mental health or conservation, and that's what this project is learning how to take action in your community when you see, being informed enough to see issues and than being brave enough and creative enough to try to think of solutions.
Okay, that concludes our second round. Deep breath, kids. Good job. Give them a round of applause, everybody.
It's taught me how I can be a part of my community instead of just staying back. I wrote about helping teachers out and appreciating them because it is kind of expensive to live out here, and not a lot of new teachers from different states come around to here, and they can't really afford a beach to go here.
Okay, before we get to round 3, you guys can just sit there for a minute because I want to thank the schools and the teachers who helped make these students to get here.
Do it. Absolutely do it. Don't be afraid. I have to say, I have been inspired by seeing young people take the microphone, take center stage, try something new, do something that might scare you, and learn from it. You don't have to be perfect, just do it.
Take the risk. It is worth it. Start talking to people in your community. Talk to your parents, talk to your teachers, find out what the issues are that are important to people around you, and find the issues that is really important to yourself, and use that as the jumping off point for entering the competition.
Now, the way this works is the students will offer 3 sentences to review the theme of their essay, the essay they wrote to participate in tonight's competition. Our judges will then have 3 minutes to ask questions, and by the end of the evening, 3 contestants will be heading to Denver for the State Civics Bee in July.
It's definitely important. I mean, government, it defines how we live in America, so it's important that we all play a part. My mom and my dad definitely helped me stay on schedule with studying, and they drove me here and just encouraged me to enter.
No matter the results of this, each one of these kids is a winner. You guys give me hope for the future of America, so please come back up onto the stage.
Just try it. It's not bad if you lose, and it's exciting if you win. And even if you don't get in, you have 3 years of it, of trying, so just keep trying.
And in first place, Jude, congratulations.
I'm really, really happy. I'm so excited. I worked really hard for this.
We're so excited. We're so proud of him. He worked really hard, and he's just a really inspiring young guy.
It was good to see some of these things from fresh eyes as a parent and see the wonder and excitement in our kids in order to re-examine our interaction with our civic life.
The Civics Bee, for me as a parent, was really opening a door into hope and optimism about the future that I have been very hungry for recently.
It's a really good opportunity to learn things about the way our government works, which I think is just super important. I mean, it really has taught me a lot of important skills about determination, not giving up, study skills as well. And most of all, determination is what I would say.
Support for the Civics Bee is brought to you in part by the Daniels Fund in commemoration of America's 250th and Colorado's 150th anniversary.
Carbondale is just one stop on the road to the state championship for these middle schoolers.
The Colorado State Civics Bee is on July 24th at the Cable Center on the DU campus. And that's where one student will earn bragging rights as Colorado's top young civics champion. Colorado Inside Out has been on the air for more than 3 decades, and the team that gathers each week gets to know each other well and feel connected like a family. So the death of journalist Lynn Bartles is felt deeply among all of us in the PBS 12 community.
Kyle Dyer and her team of insiders have a lot to say about Lynn's impact on journalism, politics, and communities throughout Colorado.
Hi, Bazzi and Ryan. Longtime journalist Lynn Bartles was a panelist on Colorado Inside Out from 2007 through 2015. That's when she left reporting to work for the state. And when she retired, she returned as a special guest panelist through 2022. And since her death, journalists, politicians, community leaders, you name it, have expressed their appreciation and respect for Lynn. So when we came together for our most recent episode of Colorado Inside Out, we shared what we all appreciated most about Lynn as well. Here's a listen. Our state, and more specifically our journalistic and political community here in Colorado, has lost someone very special, Lynn Bartles. Lynn was a reporter for the Rocky Mountain News and the Denver Post. She served as communications director for the Secretary of State's office and was also a regular at this table in Colorado Inside Out for many years. Lynn was on the show before I joined and also before you as well, Elena, but I understand she kind of took you under her wing a bit when you moved to Colorado to work with Axios Denver.
She did. I moved in 2019 to Denver. I was at Colorado Politics, actually.
Okay.
I think it was my first or second week. She, out of the goodness of her heart, said, hey, I want to take you to a community event. There's a lot of movers and shakers here. It was on a weekend, so she didn't have to do this whatsoever. It wasn't even a work day. And she took me around, introduced me to so many people, including John Hickenlooper, and it was just so that I could hit the ground running, have some sources to talk to. And that was it. That was the kind of person Lynn was, though. She cared so much. She cared so much about journalism, and she took pride in mentoring, the next generation. And I'm so grateful for that memory and for other memories that I have with Lynn. She was a really special person.
That's awesome. Patty, your thoughts?
Well, I was honored to sometimes be mistaken for Lynn because she's so smart, such a great writer. And I talked before how she described covering politics. She covered it like sports, and she was the ultimate umpire. Fair, she called it as she saw it, but she knew the game, and she was just a great reporter, lost to all of us.
Mm-hmm. And Eric?
She was a great reporter. I love the story that Elena told, which points out not only was she a great reporter, she was a great person. She was very much her own person. She wrote her own rules in terms of how she crafted and lived her life. The outpouring of testimonials during her illness, which was mercifully brief, and now since she's passed away, is quite something. The one that I think superseded all others, there's a leading Republican consultant in town by the name of Kelly Maher, and I did not realize the closeness between Kelly and Lynn. People should go online, viewers should go online and read Kelly Maher's ode or testimonial to Lynn. I think it's available on Complete Colorado as well as other places. It was beautifully done. My favorite memories of Lynn are not the professional side, it's much more the personal side. It's the random phone call, it's the random text with an insight, a tip, a barb, a joke. It's all the personal touch.
Okay, and David?
She was such a great journalist in whatever she did. Before Colorado, she was a city columnist for the Albuquerque Journal, and very funny and cynical. And then she came to the Rocky Mountain News in 1993, starting off on the night shift and the crime beat. And then from there, she transitioned to politics, which was her thing she's now famous for. But all across all that coverage, and sitting around the table here before the show when we'd be chatting, she was always the same very forthright person. She was cynical, hopeful, funny, tough, and fair, and she really did have a heart of gold.
That's right. All right. Thank you for sharing, everybody. That was just one of our 4 topics on Colorado Inside Out. You can check the whole show out on our YouTube channel, the PBS Passport app, or on PBS's 12's website. And we have our podcast, too. Now, coming up this Friday, we will have reaction post-primary to all of the different races and the future direction of Colorado. So make sure to join us this coming Friday at 8 o'clock right here on PBS 12.
If you've spent any time in a Colorado garden this summer, you know the weather has not exactly made things easy.
Between the heat, hail, and hungry pests, you may have found that your garden needs a little extra help to thrive.
PBS 12's Erica McClarity heads to Denver Urban Gardens to meet with gardening expert Jungle Judy Elliott for simple, practical tips to help keep your plants healthy all summer long.
All right, we're here at the Horse Barn Garden with the fabulous Jungle Judy. And today we're learning about unpredictable summer pests. All pests that include hail and heat as well, right?
Right.
So you're here to help us.
Hopefully.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's start. Where do we start?
I think we need to start with the soil,
Erica.
A lot of the problems that we have that we think are really pests and diseases are caused by improper management of our soil. So if you don't do something like enrich it with compost, and Erica, I think in our magic bucket there, if I could have you walk in.
Our magic bucket, I love this.
We have a magic
Okay.
bucket. can take my garden pruners out, and my scissor, and my wonderful, okay. Then in the bottom of this bucket, when we uncover it, we have the clue to healthy growing and keeping a lot of the pests away and deep roots.
Okay.
Will you please take your hands and run it through
I would love to.
This is Colorado compost that's made from landscape material.
It's beautiful.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yes.
So this is made from what a lot of people throw out. So as long as we, so.
Why would you throw this out?
Because maybe they don't know that they can take a Pay What You Can compost class at Denver Urban Gardens.
Oh, okay,
Teach
got
them
it.
how to make it. And we have places on our soil that do you notice they're covered with something?
Yes.
You know what that is?
No.
That's straw.
Straw, okay.
And the reason that we're covering this with straw is that it keeps that soil, that growing environment cooler, up to 10 degrees cooler. We're talking about gardening in the heat. It conserves moisture, and it causes those roots to go down. We're gonna move over to this crop where we have some kale.
Okay.
And I'm gonna have you use one of my favorite cultivating weeding tools.
You're scaring me with that knife, too.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's a great weeding tool. I want you to just push back the straw around this tail.
Okay, got it.
Push it back. You can use your hand, you can use that, whatever works for you. All the way around this kale plant. What I'm going to have you do is feel the soil. How would you describe that?
Cold, very moist.
Does it feel different than where you stepped?
Yes, very, very different.
How would you describe that?
Dry.
And soft or hard?
Depressed. Depressed.
Depressed? I love it. This is happy soil.
This is happy
We're going to
soil.
make it even happier because we're going to feed it with some compost.
Okay.
You're going to take my Hori, great weeding tool, and this is what you're going to do. Just lightly go around, mix it into the soil.
Man, you don't pat it.
No, you don't. No, we don't want to mess with the roots. So she's opening up air in the soil. It's going to make the roots go down more. This is what we can do also to eliminate or get a handle on weeds. Oh, look what we have right here. This was not staged. We have a ladybug right there on the plant. And I know that on the kale, which is a member of the broccoli cabbage family, we have.
So how do we feel about the ladybug? Is it friend or foe?
The ladybug is friend because it's going to go say, this is a plant on which I want to pause and lay my eggs. And then the ladybug larvae and the adults can munch thousands of aphids. Look at this plot over here real quickly. I'm looking at a white butterfly. Oh my God, beautiful white butterfly.
I love it.
But this is the white cabbage butterfly.
And why is he important?
I'm looking because just like the aphids are attracted to that, this is actually a cauliflower which has been left too long in the garden. You can see its florets are turning yellow and it's open. So kale and cabbage and broccoli and Brussels sprouts, all a member of that cabbage family that attracts. They have strong sulfur smells. And it's coming in and saying, I can smell the sulfur. I'm gonna, oh, another one just came in. They're gonna lay their eggs.
So this is not a good sign.
This is not, well, they're attracted. You know, they're attracted to that.
Yeah.
So at the first sign of aphids on your plant, you're gonna take a strong spray of water and just wash it directly off. This is an example of healthy cauliflower, okay?
Oh, it looks great. That one looks sad.
I wonder why.
Look, I've learned so much already.
This has been left a little long. So what we need to do to prevent this one from looking like this is to keep the sun out. I would take the outer leaves, which probably have aphids, tie them up, see? What do you think that's doing as far as the sun?
Oh gosh.
What is it doing?
It's just blocking all the sun.
Blocking all the sun. Perfect answer. You get an A+ on this.
I love
haircut.
this.
So what that's doing is...
And it's not going to hurt the leaves.
No, it's not going to hurt the leaves of the string.
Okay.
You can also use like a rubber band.
Okay.
So you're just getting the big leaves at the just like that again.
That's really cool.
Isn't that a cool technique?
Yeah.
Erica, I'm looking at a curled leaf here.
Okay.
Always almost at the leaf edges. Will you please unfurl that curl?
It's like
unfurl
a little
the curl.
surprise.
What you got?
A little box. Oh, yeah.
Oh, look what we got.
Yep.
We've got aphids. So once we have washed the aphids out, then Erica, will you show people how to keep those curds, those are called curds, nice and white so they don't turn like that? What do we need to do?
We're going to tie them up.
We are.
We're gonna tie
You
them
mean
up.
they've been bad?
They've been bad.
So
I'm
to
ready.
keep out the sun and keep that nice and white, Erica is picking up those broad leaves, either using some kitchen string or a rubber band. She's going to keep the sun out.
Wow.
Just like we would put sunscreen on our body, we want to keep
Okay.
the sun out of that.
I love it.
I do want to look here, because if we can find the caterpillar, it's dramatic. So come on in here.
I want to find a cat.
Well, I'm going to let you go on a hunt. I know that
No,
these are
if
probably
my son was
aphids.
here, he'd already
So I am
found
looking
it.
at these kind of holes. Look at this plant. So I'm not seeing it, but the larva of the little fluttering white cabbage butterfly is this
Yeah.
green caterpillar that you need to just brush off with your hand.
What's the pest right now that they're just like, help me, Judy? This pest is killing my garden.
If you had asked me last year, I would have said Japanese beetles. You could not walk in this garden and see our grapevine over there because it was skeletonized, or our grove compost site, it was skeletonized. There are almost no beetles this year. What I am having an incredible problem with, due a lot to climate change and extreme drought and heat, are grasshoppers.
Grasshoppers.
So grasshoppers,
okay.
we're all looking at organic ways of managing it.
Yeah.
I'd recommend that people, before things flower, take some garden netting and put it over the plants to physically exclude the grasshoppers. Now, right here in the garden, we're always concerned about hail, and we're concerned about extreme heat. So right behind us, we had a hail scare here where we were supposed to get tennis ball-sized hail. That never came in.
It never came.
This is dual purpose.
But you were prepared.
Well, Jesus, our wonderful gardener,
Okay.
or one of the gardeners in this place, was prepared. So what this person did was just set up a simple system, went out to a garden center and purchased some hail netting to drape over it. This is dual purpose.
Great.
This can also be used in the heat of summer. I recommend shade cloth on a simple structure. It's usually 40% light, 40 to 50% light permeability.
Yes.
Just drape it over some simple stakes.
And
Prevents
this
the
seems
hail,
very
keeps
easy
it out.
to do. This is something I could do.
Well, you see, we want
For
those
my
things that
backyard
work
plots.
for you, however
Yeah.
and you don't need to spend a lot of money on it. I've got some area here, which is not only empty, but which I'm going to ask Erica to, first of all, in this area, use your hands, move back the straw. She knows how to do that really well.
Put it here,
Just
but I will put it back.
Scooch it back. She's going to put it back. I like it. And then what we're going to do are two things.
So we're planting...
We're planting more onions.
More onions.
We're planting
and,
more onions in here to go along with the few onions we have.
And what will the onions do?
Because the onions are going to smell stronger.
Oh, I love
disguise
the
the smell by which the cabbage butterfly finds. So we're going to say,
Okay,
I'm
so
going
we're
to
gonna
put out.
trick the cabbage
in
butterfly.
the fall, we would have garlic. Doesn't need to be really deep there. Just kind of chop down. It's
Okay.
fine. Continue doing your chop.
Chop, chop.
I'm putting in some compost. Will you please mix that compost in?
Yes, like a mixing bowl. Just kidding.
Well, what I like to do, you know, it's getting close. You just pick it up and mix the soil in with the compost like that. So we're not, so
fold it in.
You
The
fold,
Jungle
I
Judy
like the folding
cooking
in
show.
technique. We're folding it in.
Okay.
Absolutely. Now, I have some transplants which were donated this morning.
Oh, not pat it. We don't pat it.
No, she knows that we don't pat it. Erica, we use this. Do you have a daughter or a son?
I have both.
Okay. Tangled hair. Carefully, we have tangled hair at the bottom.
Okay.
We're going to carefully untangle those roots because we're going to have two bulbs of onions. So start from the top and carefully pull it apart.
I'm scared. I
Untangling.
don't want to hurt it.
Oh, I know, but we're giving it space in between, my dear. So we're pulling it apart.
Okay.
Almost there, almost there.
I don't want to
almost there.
damage
I
it.
know,
See,
I
this
know
is why
people are afraid.
I need
almost
to
there.
learn to be.
Okay, so Erica, I am going to. Why don't we go ahead? That one is going to go in there. Number one.
Really, you just plant one little one all by itself.
in. Now you're going to cover up its bulb.
Okay.
With your hand.
Okay.
And flat hand pat down. Pat
Oh,
down.
okay,
Pat
got it.
hand. Okay. And about 3 inches apart or so because we need to give that bulb time.
Okay, 3 inches
Place.
apart.
Dig this and we'll have 2 onions planted. I'm going to have you use that shovel.
Okay.
And I'm going to have you dig down all around there. You know the plan.
I can't believe I'm getting a lesson from Jungle Judy herself.
And I would dig down all wide. I'm going to dig down deeper because we're going to actually plant a tomato plant there.
Do you want me to keep going even deeper than this?
I don't know. Let me sit down and see what you've done.
Okay.
You've done such good work. May I have the shovel?
Yes.
So I think depth-wise is great. What I want you to do is just the same thing, but a little wider because those roots then. So dig down just like that, but just like I'm doing, okay? A little
Gotcha,
deeper, but
okay.
wider. Go for it. And put it right in the same place so we know where that soil is.
Okay.
Boy, we have a master gardener in.
I'm so
Just
excited.
trying here. Erica, you know the routine. What goes in the hole?
The mulch.
Nope.
No.
Close.
Sorry.
Close. You are close.
The
Begins with a C.
Oh my gosh.
Ends with a T.
Thank you. Let's start
You
that
can
over.
just use. You can just
That's
go dump
the
some
compost, Judy.
Dump some compost in the hole.
Okay. Are we good right there?
I don't know. Dump some compost in the hole. Just pull it out. Go. One more handful there. And then another handful that you're going to mix in with this stuff.
Okay.
She can make
See,
it
this
work.
is what, but this is why I'm the perfect person, because I'm a beginner.
No, you're a learner, which I love now. That wonderful espoma. I'm just going to take a little bit of this. And this is complete. This is registered for organic gardening. It's not going to give it a whole bunch of nitrogen. It's in pellet form. Erica, just mix that in with your hands.
Okay.
I don't want you to mess with the roots. I just want you to squeeze this so that the roots are going down. Okay, just squeeze it. They're starting to go down. Tomatoes will form roots all on the stem. So we're going to bury this
Wow,
plant deep.
so you
Go.
do not break up the roots with the tomato.
Okay, push all this in. See how deep we're putting this in? A lot deeper than most people will think. This is getting its last chance. I would even go for this stuff here. Push it in, push it in. As tomatoes grow, the flowers are produced from the side of the stem, in between a branch and this stem. I can't show you because these are so small. It tries to come up with another little shoot called a sucker.
Okay.
If you see suckers every week, pinch them off or cut them off.
Got it.
Okay.
So summer is the perfect time to plant your tomatoes?
Well, I would
Or
have
am I
planted
late
this
to the game?
earlier.
Okay.
But I think that because it's so hot now, and this is a variety that will produce fruit before the end of the season, we're also saying this is its last chance. These were
we
salvaged
gave it
from
another
a
chance.
greenhouse. We've got onions in for repellency. These are marigolds, which are going to produce pollination. Good job.
All right.
Planting. Always water this at the base, never overhead watering.
Base.
Keep
Oh my
tomato
gosh,
leaves
that's
dry.
probably why my tomatoes didn't survive.
I'll show you an example before you leave of some diseases coming in.
Because I had
Because
tomatoes
people are
and
doing
I
that.
watered them on top.
Yeah, always from the soil. Those bottom leaves develop diseases first. They drop on the soil surface,
Okay.
and then the disease proliferates. A lot of what we're talking about is basic plant care. Optimize the health of the plant.
I love it.
Makes sense.
This was so much fun today. Thank you for teaching me. I learned a lot. Are there any final thoughts that you could leave us with?
Oh, there's probably about three days worth of final thoughts. But if I had to sum
you
up
had to
in a
sum it
small
up.
amount, I would say, please remember that I think people keep the negative antenna up a lot of times. They say, this didn't work, this didn't work. Keep your journal out, your phone, take pictures of what you loved, and realize that a garden's not a competition. It's not a race. A garden feeds your soul. It's for stress relief in addition to food access. So after these many years of gardening, I vowed one thing. Each year I'm going to make a different mistake.
I love that. I'm great at making mistakes. Every year, I got this.
We're so thankful that you chose to spend time with us in this day of learning in peace and reflection.
Awesome. Thanks, Judy.
Thank you for sharing your heart.
For more information about Denver Urban Gardens and to find out how you can get involved, go to dug.org. Thank you for joining us tonight for Colorado Stories on Studio 12.
For more stories, interviews, and special programming,
visit pbs12.org or check out our YouTube channel and the PBS app.
I'm Bazi Kanani.
And I'm Ryan Harrer. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.
you.